Hey everybody, we back on the Renovated Thinking podcast
Hey.
again.
Welcome back.
Definitely. You already know we got the usuals. We got Ray, Jade, and myself.
Hey.
And now today we also have another special guest coming on this podcast, entrepreneur, mentor, and everything else he gonna tell you about because he got some other stuff too. We got Lim Bass.
Hey, welcome.
How you doing? How you guys doing? How you doing? Thank you for having me on. Like he said, I got a lot of things, so it's like a whole story, like by itself. Just saying what I do.
Yeah.
But I am a serial entrepreneur, so I own several businesses. I'm on the verge of becoming a motivational speaker. You know,
This is up.
a mentor as well, and yeah. So let's get it.
So tell us a little about yourself, like where you from and what was your because I know you say you have a few businesses, so do I, but I had this natural thing of just like it's been since young, so I don't know like what was that journey and the startup of that journey for you.
Well, like my journey just kind of is always changing because I didn't listen. I wasn't born into entrepreneurship. Like it was not. My dad was a pastor, so we was born in church, and that's all we knew. I grew up in church, so when I was younger, I actually loved football. So I thought I was going to the league. I was like, yeah, I'm going to the league, but then I found out I was too short.
Yeah.
And then like my sophomore year, like I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm that good. So I need like a fallback plan. And then because of church, I also did music. I was a musician, so that's why it's actually bass, not bass. So limb bass.
Bass. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So I started off playing music as well. So after I quit football, I joined the jazz band because I need like a second option for like I want to go to college other than football because it wasn't working out.
Yeah.
And then I was doing music, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna be this big time musician. I'm gonna be gigging the world. This is it. And then I got into college, Flomo, with a scholarship for music, and then I stopped doing that as well. I think my freshman year, like, you know what, man, I don't want to do this. And going into the summer of my freshman year, I had an idea to start a music mentoring program, like a music school.
Yeah.
It was epic failure, It never worked out. And then I brought the idea back like a few months later, and then I called my homeboys at the time that were Army just as well, and we sat together and we came up with this idea to get a school. So like we started the school. It was called Simple Note. We still have it to this day. But I had other ventures as well that failed. Listen, in business, you're gonna fail a lot. Like try and error is gonna happen. There's no such thing as, oh yeah, I'm gonna just wake up one day and just build Amazon. You listen, like you're gonna try at least 10 different type of Amazons and fail at that first before you build that Amazon. So that's why I was going through. I was young, and like being young is a blessing because you're able to go through those mistakes, without like consequences. So failing and losing money. So I was doing like different ventures. I did like affiliate marketing. I did Prime America. Everyone did that before. I did credit for a little bit. I was always trying to do something because I noticed, as I was working these jobs, I was not good at it. Not it was for me. Listen, I literally was not a good worker. Physical labor, I sucked. Listen, I was a horrible employee. Like you're slow. You come on, you're fired. And then I'm like, yo, I really suck at working. Listen, I can't do this. So but the only jobs I was good at is sales jobs. I was good at sales jobs or jobs that require you to sign like a petition or something. Like I would be horrible when it comes to bagging, canvassing, But then I took jobs like sales jobs and I was top sales. I did canvassing job, top in the nation, like getting a whole bunch of money. So I'm like, yo, I have a skill set when it comes to sales marketing and producing. And it's funny because the irony is I was also born with a stutter. You know, I have a very bad stutter that I'm actually overcoming now. So I have a stutter, but my strength is sales and marketing. So like, man, I think entrepreneurship is the path for me because I suck at labor jobs, but when it comes to understanding how to get something to be sold, I was good at that. And I was always told in fact, I always told myself, if you could sell rock to anybody, you could sell any business.
Mm.
If you could sell a product that's not yours, that you don't care about, and just cap your butt off and make it sound good,
Right.
you could sell your own product, your own shirt.
That's real.
You know what
That's
I'm
real.
saying? So that's what I tell people all the time. Learn sales. Sales is probably the biggest skill in entrepreneurship. So I got good at that. I was deep in music business still. You know, I had my own school. It was kind of struggling. You know, it wasn't really popping. I had my own band, and with the band, I was doing the booking. So I was in the music business. I was doing the marketing, hitting up the clients, and then I started a booking agency as well. So I was looking for other artists and other musicians, you know. And so everything I did was all music business related. I did a few other things outside, but those epic fails. And then my new venture, which has been really during this pandemic, but has blossomed extremely fast, is my platform. You know, that it's a business network platform. So it's a group that's to entrepreneurs. And that became a business because we started off at 800 members, and then during quarantine, we went from 800. Now we're at 38,000. You know, and at first it was just genuine. You know, I would just like motivate people and post because I'm big on motivation. It's just I just create like motivational stuff in my mind and just I gotta post it. Like my Facebook page was like a diary to me. If it's in my mind, I'm gonna post it. But people connected with them, you know, stuff I was saying. It was very real. So like the platform grew very big. Now we got our own service agency. So now we do services for business owners as well. We do graphics, we do website design, we do business plan, we do trademarking, we do anything that's business related. But it started off as a free business group to just promote your product and motivate. So that's my ventures. That's why I say I still got my studio in Fort Lauderdale. I got the agency now, and I'm working on starting my motivational speaking thing. Hopefully this year, because I'm trying to overcome this whole stuttering thing.
Yeah.
Trust me,
You will, yeah.
it's been in me for a while. Because prior to being an entrepreneur, when I was 17 years old in high school, I said, I don't want to be a pastor because my dad do it, but I want to speak. I want to motivate.
Right.
I just didn't know the field. You know, I didn't know it was music or business, and you know, like that. Like that wasn't the thing yet. But now, as I started like building this group, I was trying to see, I have a lot in me, a lot of motivation. It's just very natural.
Right.
So now I'm working on putting out more video content where I'm actually talking, speaking in front of schools. Because that's my biggest adversity is being able to speak. You know, so that's my background. I'm Haitian. Our family's from Haiti.
Okay.
But yes.
Hey.
Yeah, you already know. So yeah, that's me.
Oh, definitely, yeah, man.
That's what's up.
And that's the you know, that's what, you know, got me to Limb Base, you know what I'm saying? 24/7 CEO. Actually, I was there when I got to that group. I had a friend of mine send it to me, and then invited me, and it was 700 something people in there, and I watched it grow, and I might have because I know you. I'm sure you have certain members who are like the most constant on there.
Yeah.
I'm not part of that list because I'm not on Facebook like that, but at the same time, I watched behind the lines and I watched it grow and I watched the consistency of it and, you know, what you have done for a lot of people trying to get into business. And, you know, that was really good to see somebody who was willing to just like genuinely pour into people on a daily basis, literally, because you were down my timeline and I would see all the motivational posts. I was like, yeah, man, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, not everybody thinks, with that type of mindset and just willing to pour into people so much at a consistent basis. So
absolutely,
without holding back at all.
Right.
All type of, and it's even the what you call it, the was it the midnight
roll call.
Yeah, the midnight roll call. I see those too. It'll be like, every midnight we're like, yo, what entrepreneur is up, working, you know what I'm saying? Like,
roll call. Who's up making business moves?
For real. And that's dope. And definitely as an entrepreneur myself, it's good to see that, see entrepreneurs who not only care about what they got going on, but an entrepreneur who's willing to help other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Like that's, so dope to me. So I definitely had to have you come on here and have this particular conversation, definitely, because I feel like we'll get a lot of good information out of, this topic today. So before we get started with that, how are y'all doing? Before we, how's everything good?
I had a great Thanksgiving week.
Thanksgiving.
Got a chance to see family. I went to school out of state for a little bit. So it was like once you experience that, leave for a while, you start to appreciate home more. You start appreciating more of the things. Once you leave, you start appreciating more the things that you left. That you used to have. So yeah, I appreciate. I'm appreciative of being able to be here for Thanksgiving.
No, definitely. You ate a lot.
No, in moderation.
Moderation.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't want to overdo anything. So yeah, I enjoyed myself. I made some to-go plates.
So I definitely had to.
Yeah.
I had me like 3-4 of them.
I try to eat till I'm satisfied.
Trust me.
That's just.
I have a whole plate of mac and cheese in the fridge right now.
What?
Is it Haitian mac?
You already know what it is.
Oh boy, so I'm gonna have to come by your crib.
What?
Taste.
Listen, you good for the whole week. That food gonna last a week.
Yo,
we eating every day the same thing.
All right. You better eat it quick. You heard what Ply said. You better eat it quick. After that 4th, 5th day, boy, you pushing it.
For real.
You pushing it. You might go to the hospital.
But listen, man, that Haitian mac different. Okay.
Listen, y'all try some Haitian mac.
What? That Haitian mac is different.
Y'all mac is cool and all. It's cool.
Boy.
And listen, I can say this. Listen, I'm a cook too. I cook as well.
Okay.
That's like the other side skills that people don't know about.
Definitely.
I be throwing down.
Uh-huh.
So, but Haitian mac and cheese is a whole different type of flavor.
Okay, I gotta try.
You will cry.
Oh, you will cry. Oh, wow. Okay.
If y'all American, Jamaican, try some Haitian mac and cheese.
Any ethnicity, just try it.
Yeah,
I'm open. That's what I feel like. That's one thing you should be open to. Especially other people's cultures and foods, because you'll never know. Like, how do you know that Benz don't drive good if you never tried it? No, how you know that Chevy don't drive good? All you drive is Toyota. Just try it out. You might like it.
Yeah. Well, everybody might not get the chance to drive the Chevy and the Toyota and the Hyundai, but people. But yeah, man. So we're gonna get started with this topic. We have today, it's mastering execution. Mastering execution, extremely important, because we just that is a main element to getting to a certain goal or whatever it is that you have in life, period. And I looked at the definition because I have it noted here, and it has for execution. I looked in a dictionary. It says the carrying out or putting into effect of a plan, order, or course of action. Right, and that's a very assertive definition. Yeah. And straight cut. So I like that, and in my life, I'm someone who I've wanted. As an entrepreneur, you have a lot of ideas, and every day you might wake up with something completely new. You know what I'm saying?
I know that feeling.
And you just got to decide, okay, what I'm going to, because you can't be in too many places at one time. So you have to really decide yo, what am I going to really commit myself to, because once
Right.
you commit to something, you just gotta follow it through. Now, just like he was explaining, it doesn't mean that it always works, but at the same time, it's really important to at least do trial and error, and at some point you will succeed.
Right.
That's what 24/7 CEO is how I knew. I met Vic, who's the co-founder. He introduced himself to me. I was like, bro, I already know who you are. And that goes to show, like, you could do certain, and then you, as long as you keep going and you keep trying and you stay with the road of what you're doing, as a business person, at some point something's gonna click. That light is going to switch for you. So today, I want us to go over. I want all of us to be able to go over certain steps that we feel are necessary. I have a few of my own that that goes into being able to master execution
Right.
for yourself in your daily life. So,
People can look at this and be like, well, what do y'all know about? Y'all look young.
Uh.
You know about that. I mean,
Yeah.
execution in general, that's a process in itself.
mm-hmm.
You
It's
know,
a process.
It takes planning. It takes strategy.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like it's not really an age on it, like
Right.
executing
And
a certain goal, because it don't necessarily have to be something big. It could be something small.
Exactly.
As completing a paper or
Mhm.
going for a walk or cooking Thanksgiving dinner. How I'm gonna execute
Right.
my plan to execute this Thanksgiving dinner in the time I need it by.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it don't necessarily have to be anything big or extravagant as a business,
Right.
Mhm.
it can be.
Right. It can be.
As long as you take it slow, take it step by step.
Mhm.
You can't hop, jump, leap, swim, whatever until you take that first step.
Exactly.
And I love what she said, because I actually made a post in my group, not about execution, but a key concept into succeeding as an entrepreneur. It sounds very cliche, but it's consistency.
Mm-hmm.
That is huge,
Yeah.
because I tell all the time, you can't say it didn't work if it wasn't consistent. You can't say that,
Yeah.
because part of executing is actually doing it.
Exactly.
Like, if you don't actually go up and listen, I can have a business plan and notes, highlighters is all queued up and documented, but if I don't actually do it consistently every day, ain't nothing be executed.
Right.
So the main concept to me is actually going out and doing it, being consistent at it. So I think we should be consistent and actually do things, even if it's a step at a time.
Yeah.
Even if it's, okay, I'm going to do a post twice a week, but make sure it's twice a week every week.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, just I'm gonna do twice a week, but the next month I'm gonna just I'm gonna cry because it's hard. I ain't getting no sales. Nah, you gotta, to execute your long term vision, you gotta keep it in small increase.
Oh. Okay.
Small.
He got to. He got to it.
Like, you gotta literally just kind of can't
Yeah.
just jump.
Yep.
And you just there.
Right.
You gotta
Yeah.
climb.
Exactly.
Climb a ladder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's only possible if you're consistent. Your business
Right.
plan means nothing.
Right.
Throw that away.
Yes.
Because there's so much great business plans that
Right.
don't mean nothing, like never happened.
Mm.
That's how I feel about it.
No. You see? This is what I'm talking about. Because that's exactly one of the directions that I was going to go in. Definitely. And, for me, I just feel like, of course, it's important for me to keep God in all that I do. First of all, doesn't mean that everything is going to work, just because, you know what I'm saying? Because what is for me, is for me, and what isn't
Exactly.
isn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It could be just a lesson. It could be a lesson preparing you for what's for you.
Right.
Right. To know what you did, what you
Yeah.
could take, the good experiences and the bad experiences that you could take along with you and use them as guidance to what you do next. And
Or
that's
for somebody else.
Absolutely.
and to give to somebody
Yeah,
else.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because there's some experiences that, for example, for your platform, experiences that you went through yourself
Oh yeah.
that helps you give when you mentor other people.
Right.
you'll tell them, hey, listen, don't go that route. Like that doesn't work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you probably thought, man, that was just a waste of my time. I shouldn't even have done that. But like we said,
That's good.
it was a purpose behind it. Everything else for a reason. And just like you said, your reason is also to help people, uplift people. So just because you didn't need it doesn't mean this other person didn't need you to go through it so they don't have to go through it.
And then like that was very powerful. Honestly, I feel like no business venture is a waste, even the failed ones. Because me as an entrepreneur, like what got me really good at even doing sales was that I did Prime America. Even though it was horrible, I hated Prime America. I hated the recruiting thing. I hated credit agencies, and I failed at all of them. But there were certain like little skills that I learned about sales and marketing that I took into my business.
Yeah.
So no venture, whether it's a failure, okay. In business, it's two things. When you gain, you win. When you lose, you learn.
Exactly.
So if you lose an investment or make a bad decision, you're gonna learn something in return. So now you can make this investment much wiser.
Exactly.
You know, so it's never a waste.
Right.
You know, it's always a good thing in a loss in business. It's not a job. In a job, if I lose and make a mistake, I can get fired tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what? We're gonna fire you. But in business, if I make a mistake, I'm gonna improve.
To be honest with you, even with the firing process, if it's done correctly, you should be able to learn from it.
Right.
To be honest with you, that's with anything in life. Yeah. When you take a step back from it, it's on you to self-reflect on it, to see what can you learn from it, whether it's a relationship, whether it's employment, whether it's a business. Once you separate, it's on you to take a step back from yourself and think, how could I have done better? Even if it wasn't your fault. Even if. They say, we just laying people off because but some people didn't get laid off. Why? How could I have been a better, exactly.
What were they doing?
What are they doing to not get laid off? And what was I doing for me to get laid off? And how could I have been a better employee to not be laid off for the next time if I was to be in this position again?
Yes, he said, when you lose, you're learning. Right. You're going to learn something that's going to help you better improve on your next venture.
Right.
For anything, there's a lesson in everything, even if you don't see it right away.
Yeah, exactly. Because I even saw, and this happened yesterday or the other day, and I was, I had went to the corner store, got something, and I was going back to the house. And this is a neighborhood I grew up in, so it's crazy to see this because when I was a child, I was doing the same thing. And this little girl shouted to me out of nowhere, and she was like, hi. She was like, do you want to buy from my store? I was like, your store? I look, and what this girl did was she bought stuff from and I could tell, I know what store she got it from. And it's okay.
Yeah.
But she went and she got it. She got, and I know her mom got it for her because I asked. I was like, who got it? And her mom went and got it for her. And she was like, basically she bought these things for a certain price. She was trying to sell them to make a profit with it. And she's standing in front of the house and she's like, hey, do you want to buy from my store? Hey, I was like, yo, like the courage to do that.
Yeah.
And from the first time that I saw her do it, I didn't know what she was doing. Like I seen her doing that a month ago. I didn't know exactly what was going on. It was from a distance, but she's been out there. And more is like, I've seen her make a couple people where people just want to just support and just like, I'll buy something.
Right. You made me want to support her right now. Just you telling me.
Right. She was like, he was like, I saw somebody, he was like, I wouldn't, if it wasn't for this situation and me wanting to support you, I'd never buy Arizona for $1.50. Right. But I'll take it. Like, and and that shows, and that's why when y'all said that, children, it doesn't have anything to do with age, because some children, their consistency and their willingness to, like, I just want to make it work. I just want to go out day after day and do it. Right. There is some young kids who do that better than adults. You know what I'm saying?
That's all it is. Sometimes it takes another person to instill that in you. Sometimes you witness Sometimes you witness
Mm-hmm.
others, you know,
Yeah.
or it's an experience that you've been through, and that's just something in you. You know, this is what you want to do. This is what I have to get done to get to where I want to go.
Right. And
It was a video I was watching. I think I put it in the chat with y'all.
mhm.
This dude was basically explaining the learning process, and that when you learn something, basically when you learn something, is your mind is supposed to be aggravated and agitated,
Yeah, you showed me.
and that eventually is going to get easier as time goes on. But the key is to continue to go back. Just like when I was talking to her about the little weight
Yeah.
thing I was having. I told her when I first used it, I could barely do 20 straight. But I just kept doing it. I kept using it. I tried to do 20 on this hand, 20 on this hand, keep going. And now I could do 50 straight.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? And that's to show that all it takes is consistency. If you, even though it may be hard at first, if you continue to do it, it will grow. You will get better at it. You just have to understand and be patient.
Mhm.
Be patient and be just willing to go through it and go through that journey.
Mm.
You know?
No, that's facts. Yeah, because you told me that I didn't watch the video. I don't think you sent it to me, but you told me about it over the phone, and I was like, "Yo, that's different. Like that's something that I never had heard."
Yeah, but it was
before.
scientifically proven that
Mhm.
while you're learning something that you do not know, you're going to be irritated.
Yeah.
You're going to be aggravated. But that's the brain learning. The brain is learning. That's why it's like, think about it. Like when you work out, right? When you work out, if you don't feel it, you're not really working out. If you don't, because what is working out? When your body is building the muscle, what happened? It's tearing
Yes.
apart
Yeah.
and it's growing, which means it has to hurt to
Exactly.
grow.
Absolutely.
So if you don't hurt, you're not going to grow. It is what it is. So if you don't want to work out, if you don't want to get stronger or look stronger, then don't work out. You don't feel it.
And that's deep because even me personally, as someone that was born with a stutter that want to be a speaker, I had to go through that. So I wanted to be a speaker, but I was born with a stutter. So I used to try to avoid speaking to people. I used to, be quiet in class because if I taught, I'm gonna get laughed at. But if I want to be a speaker, I have to actually speak. So I started actually speaking, even though I was still studying bad. I was getting laughed out.
Yeah.
Every time I spoke in class, I got better.
Mm-hmm.
Got better.
Exactly.
So like a lot of times in life, the things that we aren't good at, we hide from it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
Right. And that's
I'm
just what's
antisocial.
coming in.
Exactly.
I'm antisocial.
I was about to say
and
that to
stick in
you.
the book. But like you're an entrepreneur, you can't be antisocial.
Right.
Exactly.
You got to speak. So I feel like adversity has to be taken on head on.
Right.
Head on. Listen, if you want to get okay, this way, if I'm winning like a race, and there's like a hurdle there, I gotta hop on top of the hurdle. I can't just go backwards. You know what, man? I'm just go backward and just go around. And you can't go around. You gotta go on top of it.
Right.
So if I was stuttering, the only way I could overcome it to actually become a speaker is by actually speaking.
Right.
I have to actually go out and speak,
Right.
even if they laugh at me,
Right.
because I'm gonna only get better as a speaker if I actually speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's dope, man. That's dope, and it's good that you're a living example of that.
Yeah.
Definitely on this podcast, so people can see like that's absolutely true. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So now diving deeper to like just like the process of getting to a place where you get to master execution. I feel like the first step to it is the decision. People underestimate the power of a decision vocally for themselves. And when I say that, I'm saying like when you decide that you're going to do something, whatever it is, I always tell people, I always mention to people, I'll be like, say it in confidence, because your voice is the loudest voice that you hear. And once you say, okay, this whole idea of whatever it is, I'm gonna get this job. I'm gonna work towards this job. I'm gonna get this degree or whatever it is that you want to do. Once you decide that you just got to make the decision for that, because the word of mouth is powerful. So you give yourself the positivity to roll back through your brain the motivation to run back towards your brain, because you motivate people, but at the same time you got to know how to just do it for yourself as well in your own situations.
That's big.
You know what I'm saying? So the decision, the decision doesn't have to be told. A few notes that I have. One thing, it says the decisions don't have to be told to other people.
Right.
Nobody, other people have to know.
Right.
They don't have to know. When you,
That's funny.
yeah, and when you speak,
Protect your orbit, basically.
yeah, and exactly when you speak.
That's the funny part, because through my notes is basically this past season.
Right.
Basically, if you go back to each episode, it's like a puzzle. Each episode is a little piece of a puzzle that equals what we have now.
Right.
The season finale. Basically,
you absolutely right. I didn't peep that.
Me neither.
Yeah, you're right.
and that's why when I was doing my notes, I'm like, hold on, this is kind of easy, because all I gotta do is just go through all the episodes and take a little piece of each one and be like, that's basically the key to mastering your execution.
Right.
Think about it. Protecting your orbit, staying focused on your goal.
Get up and hit back.
Get up and hit back. Supporting others.
Becoming your own fire.
Become all that. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So everything kind of coincides with each other.
Definitely.
So that's for anybody who's viewing, who haven't seen some of my previous episodes, to go back and check it out, because everything kind of ties in together.
To master and execution.
Everything ties in together.
Definitely. So, and that's why when you said protecting your orbit, you're absolutely right. Because when I say it doesn't necessarily mean stay quiet and don't tell anybody,
right?
But tell people who you know will be able to add to whatever it is that the conversation that you're bringing to them. Give it to people who you know, mentors who genuinely want the best for you. To also tell people that you want to get involved.
Right.
Of course. And just keep it at a minimum.
Yeah.
But don't, like, you don't gotta go and tell the whole, I want to do this. I made the decision that I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, just basically, what was it? We'll take yourself from haters. Was it
That's what
haters?
It was,
Oh, we
Haters,
did that. We did that too.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Everything coincides.
Yeah,
Right.
you got to. And
don't give them too much of your energy.
Right.
That's one thing I have in my notes, is that at the end of the day, first of all, when you get haters, like we said in the last episode, in the other episode, when you get haters, that's when you know you're doing the right things. Because if you wasn't making moves and making things shake, then people wouldn't even give you their energy to even mention your name.
Exactly.
That's first. And then on top of that, at the end of the day, once they give you that negative energy, it's on you to not even give them your energy back. Because guess what? You need that energy for other things, to progress, to feed into somebody else. So why do I need to give it to you, who's not even going to appreciate my energy?
Exactly.
I'm going to give it to this guy who's going to appreciate it, who I could uplift. I'm going to give it to this guy. But guess what? You gave me some of your energy. It's negative, but it's some of your energy, and I appreciate it, because I'm going to use it and convert it into some positive energy to give it to other people who's going to appreciate it. Thank you.
And
I like that.
And that's so funny, because I made a post about haters. And I said this. I said, some of us create imaginary haters that aren't even real.
Jordan did it. Jordan did it.
But that's okay.
Right.
Because everyone's motivation is different. So, some people feel like they need someone to hate on them, like for them to actually push.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, if you do that, that's okay.
Right.
If that works to it makes you push, create imaginary haters. Yeah,
Right.
everyone hates you. Yeah, do it.
Right.
Because some people are really pushed by people being against them.
Right.
Having that raw against them pushes them.
Mm-hmm.
If no one's against them, they won't really move.
Yeah.
So sometimes, whether it's an imaginary hater or a real hater, it works. You know,
Right.
like, it gives you energy for you to actually push.
Right.
You know?
You're like, I took it personal.
Yeah. And they're like, I don't even know who he was talking about.
For real. So man, it comes down to the decision.
Yeah.
And the decision is the birth of, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. But it doesn't mean that it'll make it through. in a lot of ways. Not only in like failure in business is what we were talking about, but also in getting things done in the first place, which we'll touch later in this episode. But the second step is coming up with a plan.
Right.
Now, this is what I tell people. You have to be strategic with how you do things. And that's when it goes down to the difference of somebody who's going to shoot down the whole room and the sniper. And when I say that, I'm going to explain it to you. When somebody wakes up, if you wake up, if you know you have a goal in mind, something that you want to accomplish, right? If you wake up and you don't have a strategic plan on how your day is going to be productive, what exactly it is that you're going to get done, and you're just like, I'm going to just get up and get some work done, that's like taking a machine gun and shooting down the whole room just to get one goal, and you might hit it, you might not hit it, but you done torn up the whole room.
Yeah.
Wow.
But for somebody like, but when you look at somebody who's like a sniper, you're going to be like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that,
Right.
this gonna happen at 1 o'clock. This gonna happen at 4. I'm gonna be done by 8. I'm gonna go to sleep at 10. I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna wake back up 5 a.m.
You need to find that step one.
Boom, just like that.
Yeah.
You need to find that step one.
Yo,
Yeah.
I didn't want to cut you off, but that's like the timing of that, because I teach my clients something called task management. It deals with that exact thing. Sometimes when we just go through the motions, we think we did so much today. We're tired, our back hurting, we crying. I'm so tired, but then we did nothing. There's 4 things you can do today. The phone calls wasn't done, the kitchen wasn't clean, because you just woke up with no plan. So I think my clients is every day must have an actual task aligned with the game plan. And that's how you actually manage your time, because going through the motion, you could do nothing and still be tired.
Yeah.
I remember when I first moved into my studio, and then we had to renovate, and then we had to build the whole studio out. So we were there for 1 month. Why? Because every day we just walked. We went to the studio and said, you know what? Let's do this today. We just did it. We just did things on emotions, but in reality, if we had an actual task, okay, let's fix this today. Let's sound check this today. More will get done.
Yeah.
So to execute stuff, you actually have to have a strategy how you could simply like break it down.
Yeah.
So like you won't miss certain steps. So task management is big as entrepreneurs. You must be organized. You must know a game plan for that specific day, even for a day, a month, a week, the year. You know, like have strategies on that.
And that's why you need something like this.
Yeah, I have a good example of that. Something that we all can relate to. Everyone. So you said you was renovating a studio, creating a business, got your life plans. So how many people you know could just go grocery shopping with no list? That's a good prime example right there. Because a lot of people, most people try to freelance it, freeball it. I'm just going and get what I need.
I'm not
Guilty.
gonna lie, I do
And guess
Guilty.
what? And how many people you know go and get everything but what they went there for?
Right.
We walking out. Hold on, wait. I went
should've-
in the store to get the butter, and I got eggs and everything else but
I
what
do
I
it
went in
all
there
the
for.
time.
Your eyes be everywhere
I
else.
do it all the time. That's sorry, because like when I go shopping, because I'm be honest, I don't do the list. I do the opposite. I just go there and I just shop.
True.
And there's always something that, dang, I didn't get no salt.
But if you had a list, but think about it.
Always.
But if you had the list, you would know.
Yeah.
You could go down there, okay, I know for a fact I forgot the salt. Before, are you in that line and you waiting? You going off your,
Yeah.
dang. Hey, hold my spot for me, bro. I forgot something.
Especially if you know the aisle as well.
Right.
And then, this skill is actually easy to manage in business, because with technology, there's like reminder app and Google Calendar. You can actually put down your like an actual alarm that says at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock you do this, 3 o'clock you do that. I tell my clients, go on your phone and download that app.
What's it called?
It's called like the reminder app.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes on the phone.
It comes on the phone.
Mm.
You can literally just jot down your daily goals, your weekly goals, and it seems like an alarm. It's time for you to do this.
Yeah.
Do that. I do it all the time because my day be all over the place.
Right.
You know, so that's the easiest to do it. It's easy. You know, just put it down and actually, even if you accomplish the goal, that goal is still on the app.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
so
You
now
can go
can
back to it.
Yeah, you could put that goal for Tuesday now
Yeah.
or for Wednesday.
Okay.
Well,
So-
I tell you what, some people that I mentor for, like, I don't do like mentoring like you do, like with the program and everything. But for the people who come to me and I help guide them, I actually advise them not to use the phone and to actually have a physical planner. You know why? The reason why I tell you that is because when you get a reminder on your phone and you busy having fun, you so quick to send a notification off. And that's what I realized was a lot of problem with people. They'll be like, man, they'll tell me, yeah, man, I saw it. It came up on my alarm. It came up on a reminder, but my phone was on silent. Or when I saw it, I just pressed like remind me in another 30 minutes. And for me, when I was trying to become more efficient with my life and I had my planner, everything like my weekly goals and when I would look at certain things that didn't get done, it'll be in my face. Like everything is there and I'll be like, okay, I did 60% of the things I was supposed to do. That is a problem. It'll be right in my face because whatever wasn't done isn't scratched off. So it was different for me. So I know that that's what I advise. Definitely when it comes to the reminders and the alarms, I also, I advise that for people. But, for me, I knew it wasn't until I had got a physical planner that I knew that at the end of the week I had to redo and look at and see my efficiency level, what I was supposed to do versus what I actually do. So it was just different. I don't know. Maybe the reminder app does have that like laid out in a weekly set.
It's weekly, you could do it monthly. You could actually program it. But like you're saying, like funny thing is that I'm like you because I'm old school. I'm young, but I like notebooks. I like writing stuff down. So I have both. I have the apps and I have like 7 notebooks. Literally for every so like number for like a schedule, one for your business, one for my other business, one for the group. 7 notebooks. Literally write everything down and check them off and it's done.
Yeah, good. You see, and that you'll see whenever you see something that's not checked off, you didn't get it done. You know that's a problem. Okay, next week I need to do better. I need to make sure that I shouldn't be dragging something from that was supposed to be done this week into next week. And that's how it was for me. But one thing that y'all did get into is, which I'm going to get into in the 4th step that I have on here, is productive work versus busy work. We're going to get into that like later. But definitely like when it comes to having a plan, I have day-to-day goals, and my day-to-day goals work towards my weekly goals. And my weekly goals work into my monthly, and my monthly works into my yearly. And then my yearly complements my 5-year, 2-year, my 10-year. Like it's so aligned, and things don't always work the way that you want them to, but I do whatever I have to do. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna at least do what I have to do to make it work.
Right.
At least, you know what I'm saying? And if that falls through, it falls through. But I feel like that gives me the best chance possible, being able to be that strategic and taking a day at a time to just want to wake up and have as productive of a day as possible.
Right.
So that's that one. And then the 3rd step I have is building your success routine on a day-to-day basis. What is your success routine? And when I say that, I mean, okay, say for example, you want to be the best cook, right? Say you make food, and you're here in Miami, and you want to build your own restaurant, and you want to sell the best Caribbean food better than anybody. And there's a lot of Caribbean restaurants down here, but you want good business. So what you're going to have to do is how you plan for your success routine. Not only do you have to set yourself up on a day-to-day basis to work towards whatever that is, but also you have to learn how you're going to separate yourself from other people. And separating yourself from other people means, okay, for example, I told my brothers, and they're market analysts, and the market opens up, it depends on where you're looking at, you know, between certain currencies or whatever and crypto, but there is some that, you know, markets open either 7 a.m., 8 a.m. That's the constant times when you're investing, you know, in those markets. And I told them, you know, something that they also told people that they guide in that business. I said, one thing like you should definitely tell people is that if you want to separate yourself, you know that you need to, first of all, you should be up before the market even opens. As a market analyst, as an investor, if that's what you do and you know the market opens 7 a.m., you shouldn't be waking up at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. when the market done already went off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a way for you to separate yourself. Like me, I started the whole thing of, okay, now I wake up 5 a.m. And I wanted to be earlier, to be honest. 5 a.m. was because I wasn't used to it. Like I was waking up at a certain time and I was just like, you know what, let me not push it. For now, I'm going to try 5 a.m. I'm a you know, work on not hitting the snooze button, and I'm going to get up at that time. But I really wanted to be earlier because I'm just like, the people in my business, you know, in the industries that I'm in, I'm just like, yo, I just want to be ahead. I want to get as much time to be as productive as I possibly can be. And I want to be up working where people sleep. And, you know, and that's what it's about. So, you know, building a successful team for yourself has to tether with whatever your goal that you have in mind. So, when it comes to building that success routine, every day is not going to be perfect.
Right.
I'm not going to wake up 5 a.m. every day. Matter of fact, last week, I did not wake up 5 a.m. when I was supposed to. I ain't going to lie. I woke up at 8. I was tired. I fell asleep later, which was my first problem. I fell asleep at a time that I wasn't supposed to fall asleep in the first place. That was
discipline.
I wasn't, you know, I didn't do what I had to do. And because of that, 5 a.m., I looked at my phone and I was like, I need sleep. And I went right back to sleep. And sometimes you're going to have days like that.
Yeah.
It ain't going to be no 365. But, you know, make it a habit.
Right.
Because once it becomes a routine, once you have a routine for success, routine meaning habit. It's a habit for you to wake up at 5 a.m. It's a habit for you to get up, and the first thing you do is you know, get on your whatever it is that you have to do. Even if you're in school, if you know that you want to graduate, if you want to graduate early, you know you're gonna have to study a little bit more. You're gonna have to be on top of everything a little bit more. You wake up, you study, you do things that other people aren't willing to do. When your classmates is out there having fun and they you know, and they partying, they doing their thing, just know, okay, sometimes, you know, most of the time you gotta, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Right.
And then at the end of the day, you're gonna be more prepared than they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's that fourth step.
Yeah.
The third.
I love that. If you're in my group, I really enforce that a lot. That's why I have like the midnight roll call and in the morning grind thing. Is because I naturally am up at 12 o'clock, also up early at 5 a.m. So I post that in my group to show like there's a routine in my lifestyle. I'm always up at midnight making business moves. I'm always up early making business moves. So I post it and people are catching, no, you know what, man, let me make sure I'm up at 12 o'clock, up at 5 a.m. making business moves. So it's just routines, you know, and like also like your body, it gets used to it. You know, like your body gets accustomed to waking up early. Even if it's your off day, it'll be an off day and I still be up early. Like, what's going on? Yeah, because it's a natural body thing as well.
Right. And that goes to habit stacking too. You know, when you know if you're able to wake up because you're used to waking up for work, you may not be able. You may not be used to waking up on weekends. You know, waking up early to do whatever it is that you want to do for you, but you should roll off of that habit and be like, okay, since I know my body knows how to wake up at that time, the least I can do is do that for myself. Whatever extracurricular thing that I want to accomplish, I need to, okay, if I'm waking up 5 a.m. at this time, I need to also wake up 5 a.m. in on the weekend when I have the time and to also be productive. Don't wake up late just because you ain't got to go to your job today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that is a perfect example of that. And then
that's taking accountability.
Yeah.
That's taking accountability, because no matter what, you are in control of everything that you do. Anything that happens, the outcome is on you.
Right. And then you got the fourth step, which y'all kind of already talked about, but we can go down a different direction in that. Basically what you guys were saying was being productive versus being busy. It is possible to be busy technically with whatever it is that you want to. If you got this business you want to start, you could be busy with it all day. And you don't even realize you ain't do nothing. No, for real.
Just facts.
Right, yeah.
Because you spending time in it. That's what I told, people, for an example, in real estate. I have a lot of people, they tell me, and I say, listen, the branding of your real estate company and whatever you want to do, you want to set up this nice stuff, you want to put together these nice charts and trying to organize everything and put it all together. I'm like, that's cute. But at the end of the day, what puts you out in this business is going out and just doing what you have to do.
Yep.
What
Exactly.
is it in your business? What is it in what you do? Like, I'm gonna use business for right now. If you're an entrepreneur, whatever, you have to look at it and be like, okay, what am I going to do that is going to generate, not keep me busy, be productive for something to be done, not for you to be busy. Because just like he said, you could go in the book and write stuff down and the nice highlighters with all the nice colors, and you got this plan, and it is, yeah, that's nice. But at the end of the day, if you're not in there and if you got calls to make, don't be like, I'm gonna prepare to make sure these calls are all organized. You just need to
make them calls.
Make them calls.
You're wasting time like that.
You're wasting it to an extent, because like we said, okay, it's okay to be strategic.
Yeah.
It's okay. And we have to make sure that gets done. But
to the point where it takes up,
And there's two ways to this. So there's ways to it. There's those who are strategic and take action, and there's those who just live on a planner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it just all day. I'm about to start this hair salon and when they're doing that, someone else, Sassy, is already 5 steps ahead of you, because she wrote it down and she closed it and went to work. You're still trying to market analysis and the marketing plan for this month. So it's a mixture of the action and the writing it down.
Exactly.
And that's why it's good to have daily tasks.
Yes.
Because when it's weekly, like that probably take like hours to do.
Yeah.
Just take a step at a time.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why in real estate we got something called analysis paralysis. When you spend too much time, because when you're dealing with properties and you're trying to do investments, you got to make sure your numbers are right. You know what I'm saying? But I had to learn how to not spend so much time on analyzing these numbers. If I'm looking at a new property that I might want to do a flip project on, and I'm not the only cash buyer in Miami, I'm trying to get to this house
as fast as possible. Yeah.
But you're gonna have some who's just so focused on trying to overanalyze this thing before you call this agent on the phone, and then you got another one who did the numbers in 5 minutes and was like, okay, let me call this person. Hi, how you doing?
You done missed it.
And you get into it. And by the time you done spent all that time, and by the time that you call the agent, they're saying, oh, yeah, we kind of accepted an offer already. So we're going into contingency real soon.
And it's crazy. You can have all the resources right in front of you on the other side of the phone. And you just wasting time. That's why I say use your time wisely and your resources willingly.
And also you got to be sure of yourself. Don't second guess yourself. Yeah, that's one thing that's in life, you know, because sometimes that's one thing some of my brothers do. Like, you sure? Like, you'll say something. Like, you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. You sure? You sure? How sure? Sure. You'll bet your butt. You sure? Then you start thinking like, hold on. Now I'm betting my butt. Am I sure? now you start second guessing yourself. Why? But if you know you're sure, you should be willing to put your life on the line for it. Because you confident in yourself that you know what you know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And to be able to take away the fluff of anything. That's what I call it. I'll be like, yo, take away the fluff. Whatever it is, I'll be like, yo, all right, okay, tell me what you got going on, what you got planned. They'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Okay, all that, don't worry about that right now. That's not what's important. Hit this particular thing is what I tell people, because it's just like, okay, you just got to be effective. Take away you got to be efficient and you got to be productive, not busy. Being productive will make you busy.
Right.
But don't just be busy just to be busy. is what I tell a lot of people, because when people want to set up, their business they like to line up everything all nice, and I'm like, yo, that's not, I'm not saying that it's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's wrong. But when you start to overdo it to the point where like you're getting to a place where nothing is happening, that's when nothing is happening when something is supposed to be happening. Because sometimes you're doing startup, and when you're in startup, you may not be necessarily, you may just be gearing yourself up towards doing whatever service or good that is.
That's good.
Right? But at the same time, when you get to a place where you launch and you're in effect and you're still so focused on it, no, it's time for you to get some results. Let's work on results.
Right.
Yeah. And that's good. I mentioned startups because that's the main businesses that struggle with this, owners. See, in business, there's never no perfect launch.
Never.
It's impossible. I don't care how strategic you are. You're going to figure out something doesn't work. So that's why you just have to just do it.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You got to just start. And even if you got to figure it out on the way, that's fine. That's everybody. But you could be on the planet for 3 months and never starting. Just start. Plan, be strategic, but actually do it. Because doing it will give you the actual results to see, okay, this doesn't work. Now let me go back on the drawing board. But you cannot just write this perfect game plan to beat Tom Brady. Trust me. Tom Brady's going to call different plays.
Right.
You know what I mean? Trust me.
You had to play a couple times.
Tom Brady, play Dolphins ain't the same plays. It's gonna change.
Yeah,
so you try to strategize. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start like the hair salon. This is how I'm gonna do it. The market's gonna change.
Not Corona in here. Now what you gonna do?
It's Corona.
Exactly.
Just start and just figure it out sometime.
Exactly. That's 2020 for you. That's a big lesson.
Right.
Because there was, some people adapt. You just got to know how to adapt to whatever it is. See what's wrong, and then be able to move off of that.
Like gyms. Some gyms, they started doing home workouts where they could do an you know what I'm saying, electrical via online. Or you could do Skype, Zoom, whatever,
Oh, that's smart. With the
exactly.
personal trainers,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Versus you have to physically go down there. So that was a good way that gyms kind of adapted to the Corona situation.
Because not all gyms was able to adapt.
Right.
Some of them went bankrupt.
Right.
And I'm expecting a couple of them to open that I'm used to, and I'm just
no.
what's going on? They ain't gone for real.
Right.
So yeah, man. And those are my 4 steps. But also I wanted to hear what you guys thought about. I was listening to another podcast. One of my favorite podcasts that I listen to, Secret to Success podcast, and what they brought up was the difference between a passionate entrepreneur and a process entrepreneur. Now, when you say passionate, what I mean, like some things about you being passionate, a passionate entrepreneur is being emotional, being temperamental. Now, what I mean when I say that is when you first, when you first thought of the idea of any business that you did, the emotion in your being runs wild. Like you just like, yo, like this idea's in your face and a whole bunch of things is coming to your head and it's becoming this whole one big thing, right? And then you just like, yo, I got to do this, right? So you put the first couple steps towards making this idea happen. But at some point in business, the emotion dies out. And when the emotion dies out, are you able to remain consistent as if that emotion was still there?
That's good.
So a passionate entrepreneur is somebody who, when the emotion runs out, the consistency runs out as well.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Listen, that is amazing. I love that because even as a motivational speaker, I say this all the time, you can't succeed off ambition alone. Because they say only 5% of people actually become millionaires. I say the other half of it is all people that were ambitious. I think being ambitious is the easiest thing in entrepreneurship. Like, go to a seminar and this guy yells at you, "You could do it." And you're like, yeah. Or go to church and the prophet said, "You're gonna be a millionaire." You got it. That's so easy to be ambitious because everyone's ambitious. Ambition is an emotion, you know. And people who actually succeed are people who actually take action, who actually study, who actually have a game plan, who actually understands to succeed. I need a coach. You know what I'm saying? So ambition alone will not cut it because everyone is ambitious. That's too easy to do.
Exactly.
You know, because it's a feel good.
It's exactly.
You know, and as a speaker, I'm noticing that because if I post something that saying, "Yeah, you're gonna be a millionaire," it gets 1,000 shares. But if I say, "Hey, you have to cut back on this to do this,"
you ain't getting as much likes
shares because it doesn't feel good. But what actually makes you succeed is the actual, like the strategy, not your feeling good. You know, so ambition doesn't make you succeed. It's just part of it. You know, you gotta have actual action to make the ambition in that business actually work.
Exactly, and that's why, and that also dives into the other part of a passionate entrepreneur, which is being temperamental, which means that some days you're on and some days you're off. And what I mean by that is when you wake up, even for me, I'm a human being at the end of the day. When I wake up, sometimes I just don't feel like doing what I tell people that I know all the time. I personally don't like being on the phone. I'm gonna be real, let alone FaceTime. If you ever try to FaceTime me out of nowhere, good luck. Boop. Like what? So I don't like being on the phone. But in business, I gotta be on the phone. You see what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna have some days where I you know, I'm worried about my business so much and I'm into what I'm doing so much that I blow past it and I do the phones and it doesn't even bother me. And some days I wake up and I'm just like, I do not want to get on the phone right now. I don't want to open my laptop right now.
But I feel like it's just like when you get to know someone, right? A lot of people not phone people, right? Well, I don't like to be on the phone. But guess what? If you find a conversation that you're into, you'll be a phone person.
That's real.
Exactly.
And
sometimes, and even and even at times, you know, when it comes to in conversations that are that you get something out of, really are the conversations that I can always do. And because of me being in business and being on the phone so much, I've lacked tolerance for just whatever conversations. Like conversations, like if a friend hit me up and they just want to talk I'd be like, yeah, like I could do it for a few minutes, but after that I'd be like, listen, I gotta go. Cause I done had enough today. And it just is what it is. And that's how it's been for me.
Well, maybe you should put some time aside for that. You know what I'm saying? No, for real.
Yeah.
Because it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's about balance, you know. And at the end of the day, how do you want to be remembered? Do you going to be remembered as a successful person? because of the drive, because of the motivation, because of all the positive things. But then you also got to take a step back and say, do I want to be remembered also as a person who was there for my friends, who was compassionate for my friends, who if they needed someone, I was there. You know, so it's balance. You know, I'm not just gonna motivate my friends to be successful, but I'm also gonna be there for them when they need that ear, when they need that compassion, when they need that hug, or when they need just energy. You know, sometimes people just want, and that's one thing like we was talking about. I had to learn is sometimes people just want to talk. They don't even want you to say nothing. They don't even give no results or how can I fix it, because they already know how to fix it.
Yeah,
they just want to hear it, just want to say it, get off their chest, be able to talk and scream. And you just say, "Yeah, I understand."
And then and I agree with that. And then you know I also have times where like I'm kind of in that space now, but when you're in the middle of reaching to somewhere else, there's some things sacrifices get made. Not, and when you say sacrifices get made, what I mean is not literally sacrificing people and sacrificing relationships as a whole, but sometimes, you know, being somewhere is often, or doing something you like to do is often, or talking to people is often.
Definitely.
Get sacrificed.
Yes, it definitely is.
And even more so when you're in a place where you know it's necessary.
Right.
And I had reached a place where I was just like, you know, I could have some friends who, you know, they call in and just like, you know, they got this problem, they got and I wouldn't be in a place where I can help you.
Yeah.
I like to help people. Yeah. Like if I could do anything simple as I could do that for you. That's cool. Yeah. I got you. Like that. But when you're not in the place of where you want to be to help people, sometimes you just gotta, and that's the place that I've been in, because then I get to a place where I've been able to reach to a place where, okay, when people need help from me in certain ways that I couldn't help them before, now I can. Now, and that's the kind of dangle that it was, you know, for certain people that I'm really close to. It was like, okay, I may seem distant. Like I've seemed distant to a lot of different, you know, a lot of people in my life all at the same time, you know. But once I was able to be more around the people I was in a different place.
Yeah, they understood.
And I was thank God I had most people who were able to understand. But at the same time, it was like once I got out, like I was in a place to help and to be there in ways that I wasn't before. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just so focused, because at the end of the day, when it comes to friends, also like, for example, like you guys, it's really important for me to see not only myself succeed, but the people around me. Like I want to see everybody level up. Yeah. But in order for me to add value to you in a way where I can literally help you like come up, I got to be up first.
Yeah, that's real.
You know?
I agree.
So for me, that is what got to the fact that in real estate, I deal with a lot of calls. I have days where I look at my call log, and I kid you not, 300 calls in a day sometimes. I don't know how it happens, but I'm like, I got 300 calls today. Business. So after I be like,
it's a productive day.
But yeah, it's productive and it's good, but yeah. So, you know, so you have that, and then you have different types of you know, that's what you have when it's a passionate entrepreneur, though, someone who's temperamental on and off. Some days they feel, some days they don't, and they let it affect them. Yeah. Everybody's gonna, just like I said about emotion, when the emotion dies, the emotion dies for everybody. Right. The on and off days happens to everybody. Yeah. What makes you, whether you're a passionate entrepreneur or not, depends on not if you feel it, it's about what you do after you get that feeling change, after those things shift. You know, how do you go about it? So, you know, and then of course you have the process entrepreneurs, silent killers is basically what that is. And they just go out and do what you got to do and speak on it after. Right. You know, so those are those 4 steps as a recap. There is before I forget. The decision, coming up with a plan, building your success routine, be efficient.
Right.
You know. So that's that.
No, on the overall tip, just take a look back at the previous episodes, and that also help you out.
No, definitely. And this is a season finale.
Right.
The episode after this is gonna come back next week. You know, ain't nothing gonna change, but it's gonna be season 2.
Hey.
We're gonna be diving into some different stuff. So yeah, definitely. And we forgot to tell the people earlier in the episode.
To like.
Yes. We're supposed to do that.
Share, subscribe, comment.
I think I'll just let you do that.
Do all that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, your family, your auntie, all that good stuff. Bow and them. I didn't say this exactly. Bow and them. Go
and if y'all need business services from 24/7 CEO business services, quickly just tell them.
Say it one more time. Let them know.
So you could our website is 247ceobiz.com. We are the Walmart for business services.
Hey.
You know, it's a very big agency. We have about 20 contractors, from graphic designers, web designers. We have consultants that that drive business plans. We have lawyers as well. Everything is startup friendly. So, and as we all know, going online is very scary because there's a lot of scammers.
Yeah.
So it's very well protected. Everyone that works for us is on contracts. So you're spending money and getting the quality that you need for your business services. Also, you can follow our free Facebook group, where daily motivation, affirmation, free networking. It's called 24/7 CEO. So go on Facebook and put 24/7 CEO, and you can find our Facebook group. We also have a couple free workshops.
Hey.
Free education.
Take advantage.
We have a workshop called Developing Your Business Plan. That's coming out on February 28th. It's gonna be via virtual on Facebook Live. So if you follow the platforms, you should be able to access both the business services and the actual Facebook group, and to be tuning in for the events we have. Yeah,
definitely. Okay, so this episode will come out right in time for that workshop. So definitely. So we good. Everything clear?
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, man. And remember, even if you don't believe in you, we believe in you. Y'all be safe. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday.
Y'all do that. Have a wonderful day. We'll be back next week. Renovated Thinking.